Hello and welcome to Getting Going on Azure with Datagriff. And today we're going to look at creating a web app and just checking the page exists. So the first thing I want you to do is navigate to portal.azure.com and log into your Azure account. Then go up to the hamburger in the top left hand corner and click. Go to All Services. Click App Services. Under App Services you can have web apps, API apps, logic apps and mobile apps. Today we're just going to be creating a web app, which is probably the most commonly used one. So we click that. Then we click Create. And here's the basic configuration of our web app. And the subscription we're going to choose first. So I'm using my Datagriff teaching subscription. The resource group, I'm going to create a new one. And I'm just going to call this My Web App RG, where RG stands for resource group. Click OK. Web app name. This needs to be globally unique, so I'm just going to call it My Web App, which has obviously been taken. But what I'm going to do then is postfix it with the region, so EUN, because I'm going to place it in North Europe. And then with all my resources, I just put Griff at the end, just to try and make it even more unique. And we're going to publish a Docker container, so I'm going to choose that option. We're going to use Linux operating system. And the region, like I just mentioned, I'm going to choose the closest to me, which should be North Europe. And then if we scroll down, I'm going to leave the app service plan as is. That's just what gets created automatically with any of these web apps. I'm going to click Next and go to Docker. And I'm going to leave it as a single container. And the image source, I'm going to choose Docker Hub. I'm going to leave the access type as public for this. And what we're going to do for the image and tag is just use Microsoft Hello World, just for a basic web app startup. Then that's all we need to do. We're going to leave the rest as defaults. So I'm going to go to Review and Create. And it just validates it. We can check all of our configuration details here. I'm just going to click Create. That now is going to deploy our web app, which will just take a few moments. Great. Our deployment is complete. So now we'll go to our web app resource group. There you go. We've got our app service plan and our web app, My Web App EUN Griff. I'm going to go into my web app. In the top right hand corner, we've got the URL of our web app. And so if we click on that, it takes us to our Hello World container page. And that's how you create a web app in Azure through the portal. So I'm going to close that down. And just to save costs, I am going to go back to my resource group, and then I'm going to click Delete Resource Group. And just clear up my resources that I don't need anymore. And that's basically how you create a web app in the portal. I hope you found that useful on getting going with Azure with Datagriff, and I hope to see you next time.